The massive cloud of smoke was visible for miles as flames erupted at this Plainfield Walmart distribution center. The first call coming in around noon. Plainfield firefighters were training nearby and arrived within minutes. But it didn't take long for the fire to escalate out of control.
A few tense minutes there when it took off from something we were getting a hand on to got ahead of us.
After a few close calls, crews evacuated the building, going into defensive mode and attacking it from the outside. At one point, there were 18 departments battling this fire as black smoke filled the surrounding neighborhoods. One firefighter was injured and was treated with minor injuries.
All firefighters are accounted for. We did have a Mayday situation around 12:45. 2 firefighters were unaccounted for a matter of a few minutes. We rectified that rather quickly.
Also, about 1,000 employees were inside at the time. All of them were able to get out safely. Plainfield Fire Chief credits the building's state-of-the-art fire suppression system, which gave employees more time to get out. But investigators say it's still not clear what caused this fire.
No idea at the moment what started it. We know there was fire on a 3rd floor mezzanine area when we arrived. Obviously, this is a distribution center for Walmart. Heavy contents.
Agencies are waiting for the building to cool down before going in. They say the investigation could take days or even weeks before they get an answer.
Lauren tells us investigators are also interviewing Walmart employees who were inside that warehouse at the time. Currently, all their belongings, their phones, even their cars are still there, and we're told they won't be able to pick that stuff up until after that scene clears. Certainly, this has been a scary day for those 1,000 employees and their loved ones who are all waiting to find out if anyone was hurt today. First responders set up a place for them to meet at an Amazon warehouse just down the street. Emily Longnecker headed out there tonight as people reunited with family and friends.
Well, hours later, you could still see the smoke from the fire in the air. This was the backdrop as people made their way to this Amazon site here in Plainfield on Smith Road to reunite with family members. A lot of relief here tonight and a steady stream of cars of people coming in to find their loved ones, the folks that worked at that facility that caught on fire. Some people very concerned all day waiting for word from their loved ones, and absolutely very relieved to lay eyes on them and get them out of here. We talked to some of those people as they were leaving. Here's what they had to say.
I mean, I'm just glad I can go home now, but I can't get my car. I lost my keys, my wallet, my phone. But other than that, I'm good.
I got a phone call about 1 letting me know that he was okay, so it's been a really stressful day.
Everybody's alive. Were you scared? Mm-hmm. Yeah. What did you think when you saw him?
She's used to it.
Relieved. He's former military, so unfortunately we've been through some pretty extreme situations, but it's been a really emotional day.
Yeah, a lot of these employees were telling us as they were leaving that it had just been such a long day that they were waiting for buses to bring them over to this family reunification site for hours. Some even walked over and didn't wait for the bus, and many people just glad to see their loved ones, glad to be getting out of here. Said it was a very long day and they were very tired, but absolutely relieved that everyone was okay. Back to you.
Yeah, you think about that, 1,000 people in a burning building and not one injury. We are so thankful for that. Another big question tonight, what's in store for all these workers whose place of employment just burned to the ground? A look at the damage inside shows this will not be a quick rebuilding process. Everything inside considered a total loss. All the products, the trucks, the actual structure of the building itself, and the rebuilding can't even begin until this investigation wraps up. So will the employees be relocated to other warehouses, or will they get emergency pay while they wait? So far, Walmart hasn't given us a clear response. While we work to find out those answers, Felicia continues our breaking team coverage from the newsroom with another group of people waiting on answers after today's blaze.
Yes, Scott, and while investigators work out the overall environmental impact of this fire, residents living nearby are simply waiting for answers. People were urged to stay in their homes for several hours today while the heavy smoke moved through and debris from the fire landed in their yards. In some areas, it was scattered all over porches, cars, and streets.
It's everywhere around here. And then we've been hearing online that it's as far away as Claremont and Brownsburg. Speedway. It was very scary. It still is scary. I've been breathing it in now for a few hours. I'm not for sure if that's safe. And as you know, I had my hands all over those pieces. Then I found out that those are dangerous to be holding.
Experts warn you should avoid picking up any debris since it can be toxic. If it's somewhere like your front porch or on your car where it needs to be moved, first responders recommend calling 911 for help. As for the investigation, we saw crews taking photo and video of the debris, but they haven't released any of the findings so far.
Now, we know IDEM and other environmental groups are at the scene right now investigating, but Sean, the images of how far that smoke traveled, really mind-boggling.
Truly jaw-dropping, no doubt about it. You won't find a more impressive radar signature of a fire, that's for sure. I want to show you several different vantage points. This is from a family friend taking a flight out of town. That's what the plume looked like. From air, this is what it looked like on radar. This is the three-dimensional depiction of that. You can see the runways there. That's the distribution center. This plume, once it developed, got pushed to the north and a little bit northeast from southerly and southwesterly wind. Went right over Eagle Creek. Debris went all the way up into Zionsville. This is what it looked like from the west side. And then as we spin the radar, now we're looking toward the south and looking down Eagle Creek from the radar perspective. This is what it looked like from Angela's son on Eagle Creek there. So as we show you the visible satellite, you could see it from outer space. Big black plume that covered up a good portion of Hamilton County. Why did the plume flatten out? It has to do with something called an atmospheric cap, and that's the a warm layer aloft. And once that plume hit that at about 6,000 to 7,000 feet, it spread out. There was enough mixing, the cap was high enough today that kept a lot of those particulates up aloft. That will change tonight. That cap's going to get closer to the ground. There's a little bit of concern that the air quality could go down a little bit. We'll continue to monitor that overnight tonight.